see if we are live. And I'm thinking we should be on by now. Let's give it a little refresher here just to be sure. Yes, we are on, Brother Keith. We are on. How's it going, man?
What is going on, Brother Joel? Let me see if I can get back here to our screen. And there you are.
Or should we say, what is not going on?
Nothing's well. Nobody stormed the studios today, so we're going to have a show.
Yay. Yay. Good for you, man.
Yeah.
All right,
hey, Tarazon and Joey. Good morning, guys.
Welcome. Thanks for jumping on right at the start here.
Yeah, right at the start. All right, we're starting to. So is Jim. Yeah, everybody's starting to get up 15 minutes early, except for me. Hey, Joel, what do you say we do a show?
Yeah, why don't we do that and get ourselves going? We can get out of here.
I got a cup of coffee. Grab a cup of coffee, folks. Sit back and relax, and we'll be back in a second.
All right, here we go.
From the Somerset Studios in Westchester, Pennsylvania, it's Smack and Jack Live with your co-hosts Keith and Joel Wenderman.
Jack up your income, smack it in the face. Jack it up, jack it up, jack it up, smack.
Yeah, well, what happened to Keith? You know, I don't know if anybody noticed that when I picked up my cup of coffee, Keith, I actually splashed coffee onto my computer. So I ran to the kitchen and grabbed a napkin. I think we're good. There's been no sparks flying. I'm hoping most of the coffee actually ended up on the table, but I got a few splashes on there. Anyway,
I ran into the kitchen
from here.
I ran into the kitchen and got some more milk for my coffee because I didn't have quite enough. So thank goodness for our intro, huh, Joel?
Yeah, no kidding.
For our intro.
We needed that. All right.
What is going on today, Joel? Hey, you know what?
What's up?
World's kind of funny.
Indeed.
Used to be this silly guy way, way, way back. Had a really stupid mustache. I can't remember. He was in the choir. He got kicked out of the choir. Couldn't get a girlfriend. Didn't have any friends or anything. Apparently, towards the end of his life, he had a very, very serious meth addiction. But you probably didn't know that. Anyway, he started blowing his mouth off about everything under the sun, and people started saying, hey, this guy's making some sense. Why don't we follow him? The economy's in bad shape. We don't like Jewish people anyway. We don't like. We need to not like somebody. Let's not like Jewish people. Next thing you know, boom, World War II happens. The beginning of that happened the other day, Joel. I'm not going to talk too much about it, other than that's how that started in 1939.
Yeah.
And any of you conservatives out there that think I'm wrong, I am not. God bless America. Hopefully next year is not going to be such a cluster blank as been the last 4 years. That's all I got to say, Joel. And you know what else?
What's that, Keith?
The last day of this, I was reading something not too long ago about the last days of the Third Reich. This idiot, knowing even at the end when all his cabinet, and I'm saying cabinet because I can't remember what the Luftwaffe were called.
Right.
But we'll just call it the cabinet. They're in the bunker with this guy, and he would be up all night drinking and doing methamphetamines. So his meetings were 5, 6 o'clock in the morning.
Is that true?
Yes. And as Germany's crumbling, he's down in these bunkers, not willing to face what's going on, and everybody else is, they're trying to, they can't get out of the place, but they're all, like, let's give up, let's at least leave with our lives and all this kind of stuff. And it just seems very and I've been around a while. You can tell I got the gray beard, so I was around back in at 39. And so I don't know, just something to think about, kids, when you're out there storming down our Constitution and our monuments. This is somebody else's house. This is the stereo store that you broke into last week, you little white rich kids. This is the United States of America. All right, and I'm done. Anyway, by the way, Joel, hey, Cuomo's going to have me on next week.
Yeah.
On CNN. Yeah, Cuomo.
Good for you, man.
Good morning, everybody. That's enough of the heavy stuff. It's a mess.
Actually, Keith, that's just kind of a prelude to what we're going to be talking about today. So,
Okay.
Man, you did some historical research there. Well done. Well done. Bravo. So, before we get into that, Keith, I wanted to lighten things up a little bit.
Yes.
Since right now we're like really heavy.
Yeah, sorry. This isn't a heavy show. We leave that to our good friend Steve at midnight. But every once in a while, you got to wake up. You got to wake up and smell the coffee, right, Joel?
Indeed. So yeah, we're going to get back to that conversation because as I told you when we got on this morning, Keith, a good 4 minutes ago.
Oh yeah, I remember. Yeah,
30 seconds before 9 o'clock. I said I didn't get much together for this show. Number one is because there was so much to get together for this. If I wanted to do slides and all that, I didn't know where to start. Number two, Steph and Caroline are up at our mountain house, and she sent back some pictures. And I wasn't going to put this on the show, but I thought maybe a little bit of some domestic issues before we get into the national issues would be appropriate. So anyway, Keith, let me indulge. Remember last week I was sharing with you that I was caulking the molding upstairs in my bedroom.
Yes.
Upstairs in the bedroom, just to make it look as neat as possible, knowing that I'm not a professional, but I do try to do my best. So I was very particular with making sure there's no caulk everywhere else, and making sure the lines are nice and clean, this, that, and everything, so that the molding looks, professionally done. So up at our mountain house, which we are having done by professionals, I thought, great, there's going to be some awesome caulking around that tub and in the bathroom area. So here is some pictures of the professional caulk job done in our brand new bathroom. And I'm not going to tell you how many thousands of dollars we have spent on the kitchen and the bathroom, but this is just some shots of the bathroom. So let's see if we can add this in here. Okay. So can you see that, Keith?
Yes.
Okay. So this this is the tub. This is the floor. And there is a nice, look at that lovely line of caulk there.
This is your new?
This is brand new.
This is a brand new gutted, restored,
down to the studs. Look at this caulk up here. And then this is our sink, brand new wall, and there's the caulk job. All right. Next picture, please. This is the shower.
God almighty.
Look at that. Can you imagine anybody doing a caulk job like this and saying, oh, that looks good? This is brand new.
Yeah, Joel, at my shop here, I am a little bit particular. And I will see a speck of dust in my finished artwork that I tape. I go to excruciating pains to make sure nothing gets in there. And I will get the thing completely done. And I will see something that nobody that does in the real world that doesn't have a microscope will see. I rip the entire thing apart. I address that and put it back together.
To get that one little speck of dust out.
I would not. How could you put your name on the van of the company that did that?
I don't know. But I sent a note. So Stephanie said, you know what, we need to get together tomorrow morning and just write an email to him. I said, no, I'm going to send him a text right now and let him know that this is unacceptable. So I sent him a text with all the pictures. He said, yes, I will take care of that. I thought it had already been taken care of. It will look perfect. And I really want to talk to him today and let him know I don't want that person back in our house.
Yes.
You know?
Yes. Yeah.
If this person is a professional, now there's been two main guys up there doing most of the work. Actually, three if you include the guy that's in charge. But the other two guys are nice. They take their time. They seem to be fairly meticulous. I don't know who this person is. Like, this cannot be one of the people who installed the shower, and you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
they get the apprentice that has never done anything,
I guess, and they blindfold them and
cut their fingers off
and put oven mitts on them and say, all right, go ahead and caulk that tub. This is a challenge.
And when you said professionals, just because somebody's getting paid for something,
yep, that is
doesn't make them an artist. And when you do this kind of stuff, finished work, it is art.
Yeah.
And I've seen the guy that did work at your house, Joel, and some of the other modern jobs. There are artists out there, and this guy,
yeah. And I will say that a couple of weeks ago, Stephanie said his name was Gene, the guy that did all the work in our house. He said, "Do you think Gene would be interested in like maybe a week or 2 weeks? We'll pay all his expenses. We'll he can live in the house. We'll pay for the meals." We'll pay for the work. Do you think he would mind going up there for 2 weeks and just taking care of everything? And it's like one of those things where I completely agree. I know he wouldn't do it because he has a million other jobs to do.
Right. Yeah. It's just,
but when you find somebody that really does nice work,
yes.
That's why we had Gene back. He did the kitchen. He did 2 bathrooms. He did the work outside for us because, he would never let this pass. He would never even think of doing something like that. So anyway, I just thought
unfortunately, this is the only type of industry that you're probably you're rolling the dice. If you take your car in and you're not happy with it, you take it back, they fix it again. And when you have something done at your house, you don't know. You can read all the Google
the reviews and stuff,
and all that stuff you want, but you don't know what you're getting until they come and do it.
Yeah. Yep.
Now I'm sure you haven't paid for all of it. It's usually some up front, some in the middle, some at the end, and then still. I had that problem when I did a little bit of work at the house I had. This guy, I went to a couple of his jobs that I guess most of the stuff I was looking at was done by other contractors. And when I got this guy, he had no idea what he was doing. The crew he had was horrible. And it was just an absolute fiasco. And I'm sorry to see this.
Yeah. Yeah. So he said he's going to fix this, clean it all off, make it better. But I'm thinking, you know what? Caulk is not something you can just take off. It's not like you can just paint over it and do it.
No.
That's got to be. Anyway, well, I'm not going to.
Yeah.
With that, but hey, good to see Bird Bricks on today.
Yeah, let's see who's on.
Let's get back. Bird Bricks.
Good morning.
Well, good to see you. Yeah. Hey, Patty. How are you? Good to see you on. Yes, I know, Patty. I'm pretty sure just about everybody could have done a better job than that, right? Yeah. Hey, Kevin, good to see you.
Hey, Kevin.
Barbara. Good to see you on. Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, no kidding. And Linda, great to see you on, Linda. Yeah, how's it going down there?
Got back from her workout already.
Lizzie on here? Elizabeth, right? Keith?
Yeah. Where is? I don't see Elizabeth.
Is her comment right in front of you?
No, I don't. It must. I don't get all of these comments.
Wait, look at the screen, Keith.
Oh, Betsy. Yes. Hey,
Betsy. I'm sorry.
Well, she is Elizabeth, but Elizabeth is Themis's daughter.
Got it. Okay. Trying to keep
Betsy,
that family straight out.
Well, that's actually Elizabeth is Lizzie's aunt, so I guess that's where Lizzie Elizabeth came from, but
Gotcha.
Betsy is Jackie's sister, which I think you met a long time ago. But anyway, very good to see you.
Father Ernie. Good to see you
Holy
on
cow!
here.
Hey, Father Ernie.
Yeah.
I'm
Hey,
friends with
Deb.
Father Ernie on Facebook as of late. Debbie's on. Hey, Debs.
Yeah, Deb from Wisconsin. Another one of those battleground states that was.
Yeah. Hey,
right?
hey, Deb. We got to talk to our very funny cousin at some point. I'm not going to get too heavy here, but what's up with the good old Jason over there? Tell him I said hi. Tell him, hey, you should watch the show once a month. Give him a hug.
Yeah. All right, Keith. So why don't we get a little bit back into our topic of the day? And again,
Yes.
we don't want to beat a dead horse here, but there was an event at our capital, our nation's capital, this week that I just wanted to kind of brush over or talk about. There's the people's right to demonstrate, and we had a lot of demonstrations over the summer. And one thing that we said over the summer with those particular demonstrations, that we are all in favor of demonstrating Black Lives Matter. We were not in favor of the violence, the destruction thereof. And President Trump was very clear that anybody who, destroyed public monuments and so forth should be jailed up to 10 years, this, that, and the other thing. So I'm hoping that holds true for what happened this past Tuesday in our nation's capital. And I will say that I've seen already a number of people who have lost their jobs because of what they've done.
Yeah.
And worse yet, and this is the very, very sad part, is that 5 people have died.
There's been 5 people.
5 people have died because of the events on Tuesday. One lady was shot. I was just reading she was shot in the neck as she was entering through a window because her mom, she flew in, I believe, from California for this. And she's a former Air Force. I think she was in the Air Force for, 4 years, four more years. But apparently very strong in her political conviction. So anyway, she was actually climbing through a window when she was shot.
Break in here for a minute, Joel. My first instinct is to say serves her right.
I know. But
she was led to do this by the highest elected member of our country.
Yeah.
This frenzy of
months of building up to this.
Yes.
Yeah.
Years, actually.
That's true. Years.
So I feel sorry for these people that are so, going back to my initial monologue here, that was kind of tongue in cheek, but this is how things like Nazi Germany start.
Yeah, Hitler
this
and
is exactly how things like that start. And we're so much more intelligent and more informed nowadays, and it seems like we're worse than ever because we have all this stuff in it.
Yeah.
Unbelievable.
The big saying was, following the Constitution, preserving our democracy from that side. President Trump was saying, this is tearing down our democracy, what's going on with the voting, and the whole while, there was no basis for any of the claims. Now, when the election happened, and let's go back a little bit further. Leading up to the election, for months, he was saying the only way he could possibly lose this election is if it was rigged. Okay?
Yeah.
You can go back years and years of elections where he said this election was rigged. This was rigged. This was the one that he won. He was claiming that there was rigged elections around the country. Yeah. Okay. So that went back. All right, let's start in the summer. So leading up, it was going to be rigged. If he loses, it is rigged. The only possible way that he could lose the election is if it was rigged. So that, it just kind of perpetuates over and over, and people believe this. They believe it. And then lo and behold, he actually ended up losing the election. Now, again, I was happy for them to go to all the courts, lawsuits, this, that, and the other thing. All right, you know, let's see what happens.
Sure.
If they find, false votes, if they, fraud, this, that, and the other thing, then of course. And I think most people in our country were happy to say, of course, let's, weed this out. Let's the jury system, let's do it. Or the court
right. Let's make it right. Yes. Mm-hmm. Yep.
But when court after court, threw it out because they had no evidence. Like, never did they have evidence. 61 out of 62 lawsuits filed. The only one was in Pennsylvania, where it was like the 3-day signature thing, where I forget exactly what that was, but he continued to say that in his, like, I have to say, his followers, literally his followers, just believe him.
No matter what. And you've seen, I watch a lot of this satire, and it's very left, but it's funny. But they go out and talk to these crowds. They give them these information, and they're like, well, what about this? And at the end of these conversations, these people say, I don't care what he goes, I love him.
Exactly. Right. And so nothing matters.
Nothing matters.
Nothing matters. It's just so then that leads up to what happened on Tuesday, when even Pence was telling Trump that there is absolutely nothing that he could do to change these results.
Yes.
I mean, in a weird sense of way, I kind of feel bad for Mike Pence now, because I feel like he's been left holding the ball.
Let's not get too. I see what you're saying.
No, you know what I'm saying. No, I mean, at least he was trying to say, you know what, there's nothing more we can do.
Right. Well, my buddy Mitch, who we go back years. We used to have when we were young, we used to have turtle races. Won all the time. This guy, he would win all the time. Joel, are you with me? Mitch.
McConnell. Go ahead. Yeah.
Anyway, well, don't like him at all. The other day, he said we lost the election. I mean, these people that are entrenched in his, they're starting to see, it's like, man, this isn't my party, And I have friends that are, and I can't believe that they think that that's their party. And
Lindsey Graham, I saw him speak the other night.
Yeah.
And I'm not a huge fan of him, but and I was like, all right, where's he going to go with this? And I was like, oh, wow, he actually made a little bit of sense in his speech on the floor. But I guess my point here is that these people were, okay, they're demonstrating in Washington, fine. Fine. Thousands of them, that's fine. But the fact that they then broke the law and did what they did over something that could not be changed anyway. There was no possible way, no matter what they did, that could they change the outcome of the election. But that didn't matter, right? That didn't matter because of what Trump said.
Yes.
Now, of course, he didn't, explicitly say, let's go and break into the Capitol.
But he said we're going to march down to the Capitol. It's.
However, I will say, leading up to his speech, Giuliani did say, let's have trial by combat. Okay, so that is part of Giuliani's speech. And I can't believe Giuliani is still, I can't imagine he'll still be practicing law with anybody other than Trump.
But these people they're fanatical radicals. And, I don't know why he's not in jail. Hopefully the judicial system will weed this stuff out so it doesn't happen again. And anyway, Joel, why don't you read what Patty said? And this is
okay.
True.
So I heard the head of this morning on ABC comparing the response to this demonstration to the BLM demonstrations this summer. She said there were over 14,000 arrests at the mostly peaceful Black Lives Matter demonstrations, compared to 55 arrests as of yesterday for this, although more expected. I agree, and I have seen those. People saying, what if all those people were black?
Oh yeah. I've got my own views on all of this stuff. Some of them aren't going to be aren't liked on either side, but it is the truth. We the stuff that happened in the summer, we were so mad that all this stuff happened, and we know why it was, because of the race. You know, these people take advantage of a situation, blah, 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 blah. We did the same exact thing the other day.
Yeah.
We did the same exact thing. My socioeconomic, well, I mean, above me, I mean, my economic status is nothing. These people are educated, they're military, you know, teachers, all, you know.
Yep. So, Trump followers remind me of those who follow Jimmy Jones. They always drink Kool-Aid. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that's the first thing that popped into my mind.
Yeah.
And getting back to your point there, that, you know, talking about people who have lost their jobs since Tuesday because they were part of these riots. I think it was a representative from West Virginia who was just sworn in. He was part of that. He was video, you know. All right, talk about stupidity to begin with. You know, posting yourself doing that while you're breaking the law.
Yeah.
You know, all right, come on. It's stupid enough to be doing what you're doing, but to then video record, put it on, you know, social media while you're doing it. Come on. All right, who else? There was another gentleman who was in there who had his company badge hanging around his neck. So he's fired. You know,
right. So what does that look like for the company? You know, get rid of him quicker than
exactly right. And then there was the Capitol police officer who took a selfie with one of the rioters. So he's now fired. The head of the police in the Capitol, he stepped down because of kind of.
Meanwhile, one of the Capitol police gets beat to death. So what's that? That's a mockery to his coworker.
Right. That
gets killed.
Right. Okay. So let's getting back to the number of people who died. So it was the lady who got shot in the neck while she was breaking and crawling through a window. They're still not sure why she was actually shot. And of course, I mean, that's horrible. That's horrible. But it was probably a reflex. People with guns were coming in. People were breaking through the windows. Probably something that obviously didn't need to happen, but it was maybe a reflexive action by one of the officers. Let's see. One of the police officers apparently got back to his station or wherever his headquarters is, and he collapsed and died. 3 other people died for health issues, and I just looked at those names. There was somebody who was 34, somebody who was 50, 52, and 55. So these people were not like in their 70s who died. These people were fathers, like my age, who died because of they couldn't take the excitement, adrenaline, this, that, and everything, and heart attacks, whatever.
For what reason?
For literally nothing, because there's nothing they could have done on that day. All right, so let's
and these people, like Patty said, they said, what else were we supposed to do? Our Constitution failed us. It's what? Because we didn't get it our way?
Exactly.
Exactly.
I mean, again, Keith, I was waiting for the evidence for what, 2 months now. We've been waiting for some sort of evidence. And on that phone call, we didn't even talk about the phone call that Trump had.
Oh my God.
He says, yeah, from what I hear, and the rumors going around, he had no evidence. If you're going to make a phone call like that, and there were lawyers on his side, and that, of course, that one lawyer's been dismissed from her firm. But if you're going to make that phone call, make sure you say, this is the evidence we have. He does. It's pathetic that our president doesn't even know the Constitution, doesn't know anything about law, period.
No.
I mean, do you find that amazing?
Well, and I don't propose to know anything. I get more involved as I get older, as a lot of people do.
Course. Yeah.
My dear friend Lenny, not around anymore, but he was very involved. He had an idea of what's going on, and God bless him. Hopefully he's up there watching me, son. But and I don't profess to know anything at all.
Same here.
But at the same time, I'm not the president.
You expect your president to know something.
Yes.
Yeah, right. Exactly. I mean, that's why we have those people. We expect them to know the law. All right, let's take a few more comments here, Keith. I heard the average arrest per day during the Black Lives Matter protests in D.C. was 32, and the arrest on Wednesday was 64. The police were woefully unprepared and undermanned, and more arrests were certainly necessary. Yeah, I agree. And why were they undermanned? Why were they not prepared?
Mhm.
You know, they knew that this was coming. Why weren't they prepared? Wednesday, I think it was Wednesday.
We're talking Tuesday. It was Wednesday.
Yeah. Was it on Wednesday? Okay. Right. All right. Did you see the video by the British journalist with interviews inside the Capitol during the demonstration? It was truly frightening because the people were so impassioned. One guy asked why he was there, said something like, "What other recourse do we have? This election was stolen. The Supreme Court failed us. What are we supposed to do?" Again, if it was stolen, where is that evidence?
Right.
Again, you know, they had 2 months to bring the evidence forward, and I believe they were invited. Correct me if I'm wrong, somebody out there. Correct me if I'm wrong. They were invited by the Supreme Courts of Pennsylvania, Wisconsin, Arizona, 3 states, but the Trump team withdrew because they didn't have their evidence. They had no nothing to offer in those courtrooms, right? So they withdrew. And again, Giuliani was saying different things. When he was under oath in the courtroom, he was saying different things than he was in the public on TV. You know, when he was in court, he said, "We are not actually contesting fraud here. We're, you know, something else." But to the media, he was saying there was fraud, this, that, and the other thing. But when he was under oath, he was saying different things than he was to the media. Yeah. She was the first person trying to get into a barricaded and locked chamber. Elected officials in that chamber were being protected. Yeah.
Right. So you're right. So maybe it was a police officer, but you know,
yeah.
Like I said, it serves her right, but it's an absolute shame that this person got it into their head that they had to do something like that.
Right.
And now they're not on the planet anymore.
Exactly. Yeah. And, you know, the whole family.
Yeah.
Lehigh University rescinded Trump's honorary degree. I wish Penn could do the same. Thank you for that, Barbara, because I saw your post yesterday and I said, all right, Lehigh University. Woohoo. I mean, it's great university, but I didn't know what they had done. So thanks for clearing that up for us. So, okay. So I don't know how much more, Keith, we can talk about that. What else did I have up here? I didn't really have any more slides for that. It's just, it was a shame. I mean, 5 people died over something that didn't need to be done.
Exactly.
You know, the inauguration's coming up in 2 weeks now. Yep. I think it's on the 20th, something like that. And Trump is not going to inauguration.
You know, I mean, and this is all I can think of is, well, it makes me think of a 5-year-old, and we used to be we have a blood relative that is all I can say is a blood relative, and this person, unless they got their way, would take their toys and go home.
Yeah, I know you're talking about.
That's the way this person is.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know, he can't leave with dignity.
Right.
He can't say, all right, thanks, guys. You know, I had my, you know, and I'm going to go in and I'm going to wish him all the best of luck. And, you know, this is a tough job. And, you know, what? Nothing.
Yeah. And I don't know if you caught the, when did he give that address, the pre-recorded address the other day, where, you know, he was condemning the violence and so forth.
Yes,
and then he was recapping that he immediately called the National Guard and so forth. Well, that part wasn't true either, because he did not call in the National Guard or whatever the groups were that he was supposed to call in for an extended period of time. Like, he had to be convinced to call them in because he was kind of enjoying the rioting going on. So that's, you know, that's what I heard or read and saw from a number of different sources.
Yeah.
So it's a shame. I mean, it is a shame. Let's see what else here. I follow a couple guys on. Cannot only, but the quality of the filings was also literally laughable. Yeah, it's a shame. Trump is deranged. He could be committed. Yeah, I agree. Well, and then, the other thing is, once he's out of office, Keith, how many lawsuits will there be? I mean, just over this, he's essentially responsible. Now, I'm sure the lawyers will say, Giuliani will say that he never told them to go march on the Capitol, this, that, and everything, but it was really because of him that those people went to the building.
Yeah.
And, 5 people died. 5 people died because of that rally. And, even Giuliani himself saying, what did he say? What was that? Let's have trial by combat.
Yeah.
Right?
And when he said this videotape thing, he said, Art, thank you, or whatever. Our journey's only begun. I mean, what does that mean?
I know.
That's
out of office. I'm afraid of that. Yeah.
Right. Just because he's out of office doesn't mean he can't have more of these public demonstrations. I mean, he's got all the money in the world.
And I'm going to be honest here. I kind of fear for Biden a little bit.
Yeah.
I don't know if anybody's thought of that, but I'm a little fearful of, Biden's going to get in there. And
yeah, you're right. He has said he's going to run again. So unless he's.
Well, yeah, but I saw yesterday that he regressed on that or retracted that and said he will not be running again in 2024. So, we'll see. But maybe it's Trump Jr. I mean,
yeah, right.
Go from bad to worse.
Yeah, yeah.
And then right now, anybody with that Trump name in 4 years, who knows?
But luckily, we still have something called. I don't know what it's called, but Lehigh. You can't run for office if you're a convicted felon.
Yeah.
So maybe, fingers crossed.
Let's hope something like that happens.
Everybody with a name starting with TR in the next 4 years will have a criminal record. So
a congressional investigation may have been appropriate to help the healing, but would not have been approved. Ironically, its potential debate was interrupted by protesters. Oh, yeah. I'm concerned for the next election if he runs. Yes, we all are, if that should happen. Should be committed. And good morning. Now, Keith, if I can just, again, I want to go back here. Hey, Kara, good to see you. My daughter has taken a few psychology classes, had a degree in biology, but does not make her an expert. Thank you. Yes. Has said that she would like to look back on her notes and see if Trump has a narcissistic disorder of some sort. Yeah, I'd be interested in what your findings are there. And just to be clear for everybody out there, when Trump was elected president 4 years ago, it was against Hillary. I voted for Hillary then. And there was like a day or two before she conceded and so forth. Was I happy that he became president? Not really. But I was like, all right, let's see what happens here. It wasn't that big of a deal for me that he was president when he became president. I know some people were completely upset about it. For me, I was like, all right, let's just see what happens. Let's give the man his opportunity, his chance. Which, I think in fairness that I was okay really up until the last 6-7 months or so when all this started happening,
Well, I haven't been okay.
I know that. And there's been a lot of reasons for you not to be okay. And
I understand that, going back to the last election, everybody said Hillary was a sore loser, all this kind of stuff. I voted for her. Some people didn't like her because a couple of things here or there. She goofed in the Midwest. There's something happened where, I don't know how this guy, this reality TV show guy ever. I remember when Schwarzenegger became governor of California. It's like, well, Reagan was like that. Well, Reagan was an actor for a little bit. He was a politician. He was in politics the rest of his life. Didn't like Reagan either, but at least he didn't go from, a metal humanoid into running a state. That's kind of what I have trouble with. And that's why this guy was so popular, because, they see him on The Apprentice. They don't know that every company he has had, he's a silver spoon. His dad made all the money. And yes, it's easier for him, somebody with money, to make more money than it is somebody without money to make money.
Right.
Both Hillary and Joe are from Scranton. You ever been to Scranton, Joel?
Yes, as a matter of fact, we were.
It's kind of I don't even know if you would call it blue collar. It'd probably be t-shirt, no collar, and these is working people of
Yes.
which actually follow Trump.
Well, I was going to say, Keith, up there in that Pocono area, man, there are Trump signs everywhere.
Yeah,
like banners, just everywhere.
And I can't understand that. People have
cannot understand
two pennies to rub together, and
I cannot understand that.
This guy has never paid tax. Well, anyway, we just get off on a tangent.
All right.
But
So
anyway, I can see that what happened with Hillary was Hillary or the party's fault for not addressing certain areas of the country that she thought she had in the bag or whatever. And she was a sore loser for losing. But it's the tables are turned, and
And
anyway, we got anything funny to talk about today, Joel?
Well, let me just finish up with this. I don't think Trump really represents the Republican Party. I think he represents more of an extreme portion of that party. But that's not the party that dad and mom used to vote Republican almost all the time, right? And I voted Republican, and I still, sometimes split, and depending on what the issues are and so forth. But Trump, in my opinion, does not represent the Republican Party. So I'm hoping that. Anyway,
he wasn't Republican. He was a nationalist. I don't know what that is, but he was talking about, and I can't remember why. Yeah. He said if he ever ran, he would run Republican because of this. And they were like sheep or something. I mean, something like that. I want to paraphrase if I'm wrong.
Sure. Yeah.
Something to do. If I ever ran for president, I would run another Republican ticket because of, and that's so. He's whatever. Anyway, I got a couple things that happened this day in history. What do we have, Joe? We got. I got to go very soon because.
Yeah, let's move off of this.
Can I tell you what happened?
What do you got this day in history?
Can I tell you what happened in my week?
Yeah, go ahead.
My day job. I think we have about 8 people at my store. 4 of them were tested for COVID this week.
Oh boy.
So I don't know if any of you.
Do we know or
what's
do you
that?
know yet? Is it positive?
2 were positive, yes, and 2 of them are not positive. Actually, there must have been 5 because one of the gals is back. She was negative, so she came back. This other guy, part timer, I think there's 5 of them. So, I'm sorry, 3 positives, 2 negatives. So I don't know if any of my friends saw my posting New Year's Eve. Some people didn't like it because it's like, where's she going with this? But I had a really nice assortment of beverages. And I was talking about never really having a job. And I got a job this summer and I didn't need the money. And now I got, tons of money. What do I do with it? Well, I got a hobby. I started buying Bob. Where the heck am I going with this?
I was going to say, did your post did not result in a riot?
No, it didn't result in a riot. Well, anyway, I'm completely off track, and I forgot what the heck I was going to talk about, but it was going to be funny.
Why don't we do some jokes? Maybe you'll remember.
Yeah, let's do some jokes. Maybe I'll get back to this. And I got a couple of things that happened today in history. So let's do the jokes. Joel.
Okay, we'll do the jokes. These jokes are really bad, so it will make you think of. Hopefully, Keith, bring back what you were thinking there. Okay. All right. So joke number 1. These are actually recycled. We've done these like years before. Joke number 1. How did Minnie Mouse save Mickey from drowning?
How?
She gave him mouse-to-mouse resuscitation.
Mouse to mouse.
How do you make a rolling stone?
How?
Push a rock down a hill.
Okay, nice.
Horrible. These are horrible. What did the Lone Ranger say after he was thrown from his horse?
What?
I've fallen and I can't giddy up.
Giggity. Oh, we brought it back.
Yeah, for the first time in like a month, right?
Uncle Brad will be great. Hey, it popped back into my head. Let me finish my
go ahead.
Here, Joel. So anyway, I don't know how. I still don't know how I got it, but anyway, everybody has Oh, right. Talking about not really ever having a job. So I get a job this last summer. Now I'm running a store it's not a big store, but it probably makes a few $1,000,000 a year. I'm the only one there.
Chump change.
So I've been thrown into the fire, and I've been that's what I've been doing the last week. I've been neglecting my framers. If any of my framing people are out there watching, I have your stuff. I haven't died, but I have been working. We're down to we usually work from 9 o'clock in the morning, open from 9 o'clock to 8 o'clock at night. Now we're doing one shift from 7 to 6. Because there's me, somebody, we have a seasonal that's quitting today, or his last days today, in the end of the season. Somebody else that quit yesterday and moving out of town. So it's me and a gal are the only two people there. Hopefully we're going to get some of our managers back in early in the week, but that's what I've been doing.
Wow.
During this whole thing. This is why I didn't. Barbara called me the other day, told me about all this Trump baloney. Yeah, thank you, Linda. Go back to retire. It's just crazy. So I'm working myself to death, and
yeah, and you still have time for Smack and Jack.
yes, and I still have to. Well, you texted me the other day, and I'm thinking it's like, oh my god, am I going to be able to do it? But yes, I have to go. We're opening at 10:30. I got to be there by 10:30 this morning. So
all right.
I'm going to get right off the show, and I'm going to get over to the store and serve all our friends. But before that, I do have a couple of this day in history. If I can get to them real quick.
Yeah.
Come on, don't need that. I hate these things. This day in 2007. This is pretty. I have this thing up here, Joel, right? And
it goes to commercial, right?
Yeah, and then when I bring it back, it's not there.
The other couple of weeks ago, they came up with this thing called a screenshot.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start doing that. But anyway, this day in 1976, Sylvester Stallone starts filming Rocky.
Oh, my gosh.
Yeah, and that's something. Wow. And that's the only one. Oh, wait a minute. Here's some more here. 1913, Joel. Who do you think was born? This day in 1913.
I'm going to say Richard Nixon.
Richard Milhouse Nixon was born this day in 2013. 1976. We have one more here that I thought was pretty interesting. Actually, 2007. I think I said 2007's Rocky was filmed. 1976, Rocky had started filming. This day in 2007, Steve Jobs debuts the what, Joel?
2007.
Yeah.
The iPhone.
Yeah, and that's something.
Wow.
I didn't think it was that recent.
Yeah, I thought it was. Well, it's been around. It seems like it's been around forever. So
yeah, I guess before that there was the Blackberries and all those kind of things, but I guess his was the first.
Yeah, like real smartphone is.
Yeah, and that was around time I was hanging out with now my friend Krista, and I did get her an iPhone. I remember watching a video. It was an ABBA video, of course. Why wouldn't it have been an ABBA? I mean, you get a new piece of equipment. Where are you going to put on it? You're going to watch some ABBA. Why not?
Of course.
And I guess that was about that long ago. So anyway.
All right, Keith. How about we get out of here so you can get.
Yeah, let's get out of here. I've been. Boy, I feel like a bagpipe. I've been blowing so much hot air today.
Yeah, good conversation today, folks. Thank you for being on today. We had a lot of good comments from you guys. Really appreciate that. We'll get through this.
And this isn't the shape of it. I mean, we did have a lot of interaction with our audience today, and it's good that we're all kind of feeling the same pain here. And next week we will be funnier. We're gonna have some funny stuff next week. And,
that's right. Now the pressure.
Hopefully next week we'll bring a better week in review.
Yes. Yeah. So, now the pressure is on.
Yes. Yeah. Joel, good luck with all the work up at the house, man. Keep us in. Take some more pictures and
we'll do
notes. And we want to know more about what's going on up there. And give the girls a hug. And thanks very much, guys, for stopping by. It was a great show. Thank you all for comments and all that kind of stuff. And keep the peace. Peace. I getting back to me being an old punk rocker and all this kind of stuff. I was never really big on Mr. John Lennon, but peace.
Made sense, right?
Yes, it makes a lot of sense. So, okay, we're the only ones that can do it. So thanks very much for stopping by. Betsy, tell the rest of the gang that they missed a good show. We'll talk to you all. Remember, you deserve a thought of your own.
So be in touch, my friends, to learn, laugh, and live. Thanks for tuning in to Smack and Jack Live. We will see you on the next show.
Thanks very much. Have a great week.
All right, see you guys.
Smack that, spin the face. Jack